turn the camera on, huh? Now I missed all that good stuff you were saying.
Aw, I can say it again.
That's all right. You just talk on as
uh,
normal.
we shear them once a year, and we keep the blanket as the prime, which is along the body area.
Yep.
That's the stuff you want to wear up against your skin. Very soft and warm. It's hypoallergenic. It's not scratchy like wool. It's the ultimate fiber.
Yep.
And then when we shear and we get the there's going to be one more chunk and then I'll be home free. When we do the legs and the neck, that's the seconds and thirds, and that's stuff that you wouldn't want to wear against your skin. So you'll see in the shop that I make rugs and things like that. So there's no waste. But I shear them. The natural colors I use, but the whites are awesome because then I take them. We have acid dyes in the shop.
Yep.
And I'll dye them all kinds of colors.
Is all that small skein yarn you have in there, is that from your...
All the stuff
fleece?
you saw in there is done at a mill in Pennsylvania.
With your fleece?
We send our fleece off. I can say, yes, they're using our animals, but it might not be
Oh.
Annika or
Yeah.
Silver Charm or...
Right.
But we do ship a lot of our fleece away to a co-op, and they in turn make either yarn or products from it. Okay, and I'm going to move this down so it doesn't jumble up on top of one another. That looks cool. I love it.
Yep.
Let me stop so you can get a picture of that up close, maybe in the sunlight.
Yep. So how many yards do you think this will be?
When I do 4 bats, I can get 70 or 80.
Mm-hmm.
This was just 2 bats, so hope I can get 30 or 40.
Didn't have a cooler.
Yeah, I did. It's it there. I got all but 1 bag.
Oh, good. Yeah, I guess that would have been a pretty big one.
There's a girl that spins up in the panhandle of Florida. It's called the Spinning Seahorse. She does phenomenal work, and she came down for a class last August in Sarasota, one of the classes, and for my birthday present my husband had her come, and she stayed at the resort and gave me 2 days of lessons. It was so much fun. I learned a lot from her. Actually, the way I'm plying right now, I learned from her.
So if I wanted to suggest something my daughter could use this for, what little thing could she make?
Well,
with
she
this
could use a
amount?
big... Does she knit or crochet?
She knits.
Okay. I like big needles.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
a big
she does.
knitter. I like to crochet more than I knit, but I like the larger needles. I would use some large needles, and then it depends on, we'll see how much I get out of it.
Yep.
I would recommend like a little cowl if
Oh,
she
okay.
just knitted a small cowl. Another thing I do is if she used tan or beige or brown fiber of alpaca or whatever she likes, mohair or whatever, she could crochet a triangle shawl, knit a triangle shawl or a scarf, and then I use this when I'm all done with that plain yarn, and I'll use this and weave it in and out or use it for tassels. I use it to embellish something that I made with plain yarn.
Okay.
So there's 2 things she can do. She can just knit something with big needles,
Yep.
like a cowl or a skinny scarf, or use it to embellish with something that she knitted with plain.
Okay.
So there's 2 different ways she can use it.
This is
And I have samples of both in there. I have
Okay.
some triangle shawls that I made that I use this to
I
go
think she'd probably be more the cowl.
the cowl.
person.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna, when this is done, I'm gonna put it on a nitty knotty, and that'll tell us how many yards right away that we have. Oh, you belong there.
And then you knew the names of the animals.
Uh-huh. The
because-
brown in here is Senta.
Okay.
We've had her for 9 years, and she has produced 3 color champions for us. And their pictures are in there, actually, if you want to take a picture.
Yep, I will.
And if you're on Facebook, or if she's on Facebook, if she's on Facebook and you go to Alpaca Magic USA and like the page, one of her sons is across the top of our banner
Oh,
on the
okay.
Alpaca Magic page.
Yeah, I looked at that page.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
she
that's
is on
him.
Facebook,
That's her
okay.
son.
Okay.
And his name we sold him. His name is Sterling Silver. Anyway, the brown is Senta.
Yeah.
The very light beige in here is Annika. She was my first animal that I bought.
Beautiful yarn.
And she went on to have a couple of nice babies for us, actually Luxors out there. And then the gold shine in here is the Angelina. The white shine is Firestar. And then the orangey brown is a little bit of merino and silk. Tussa silk. So that's all the stuff that's in there. There's some nice Angelina there. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so shiny. I love bling. Anything shiny and bling. And I core spun this, which means I use this as my core.
Okay.
It's not anything, to write home about, because basically I covered it up with all the fibers.
Sure.
So I core spun it around this, and what that does is it gives it lots of strength.
Okay.
And makes it a little bit thicker.
Yep.
That homespun look that I really, really like.
Get her here.
So we have Senta, Annika, Tussa Silk, Firestar, Angelina, and Merino. It's a mixture of a little bit of everything.
Fun colored one.
And we're getting down to the nitty.
One of the things that impressed me so much when I started hearing about alpaca from you guys
Uh-huh.
is that there's no Miss Clairol involved in a lot of this. It's
Exactly.
the natural color of the animal.
Exactly. And well, I can do that with the
Right.
white ones,
Right.
but also when we take them to shows, the judges want to see them in their natural state. We are not allowed to comb them, bathe them, nothing.
Really?
When we take them to shows, you have to take them right off the farm. Now, if there's debris or hay in there,
Right.
we'll pick it out so that they go in looking nice, but all natural colors. And that's what's good about this one yarn right here. I did it all natural.
Yep. So do you have the animals that are, oh, I see one that's kind of grayish.
Uh-huh.
Sleeping
Gray
there.
is very rare in the alpaca world.
Oh, is
In
it?
fact, Senta, who is the brown in here,
Uh-huh.
we bred her to Virgo, our herd sire, who is gray, and she had 4 gray babies.
Huh.
And actually, Peggy at the yarn store,
Uh-huh.
she bought 2 of them,
That camel.
Silver Charm and Silver Star. We always name the babies the first letter after the mommy. It helps us keep track of who
Sure.
had who. Helps us remember who had who.
And how many animals have you got now?
We have 85.
Wow.
But 60 of them are ours. The rest are boarders.
Okay.
People that don't have their farm ready yet. People that just bought them for the investment. They're very clean animals. When they go potty out there, they go in a communal pile.
Mm.
So it's very easy cleanup. When they have babies, they only have one. The gestation period is 11 months, 2 weeks, so they can only have one baby a year.
Wow.
They come from Peru, Bolivia, Chile. Hi there. I just spun this yarn. We have some green in there, and you don't belong in there, so I will pull it out. But normally I'd leave it in there for a character. But
Oh, leave it in there.
you want to?
Sure.
Yeah, it's from some green in there. Little tiny bit of green.
Both of my daughters are all about character.
Cool. Love it.
The
You
one
gotta
that-
bring them here.
Yeah, I will. The one that's getting this,
Oh.
it just she's works for NASA
Oh,
in
awesome.
the DC area. She's their
Wow.
personnel director for all of NASA. She just lives life with gusto. So a little
Aw.
green is good for her.
Oh, I love her already. That is so me. A lot of my family lives up in Baltimore. I just spun this yarn and now I'm plying it. And this lady, I believe, is going to buy it. So she's videotaping it. There's some more little bit of green. A little tough of green.
What are you going to make with it?
She can either do a little mini scarf or a cowl, or what I tend to do with the smaller yardage ones is I will make something first with a plain yarn, like a tan or a brown or a white, and then I will use this and incorporate and weave it through, or do a couple of rows of plain and then maybe knit a row or two of this, and then a couple of, just to give it some, there's some items in there that I, a sample of what I do. Yeah, the tour is over here.
Okay.
Have you been to the tour yet?
Not yet.
Oh, cool. It's the gate behind the little outhouse there.
Okay, thank you.
And you'll be able to feed them and see them right up close.
Are alpacas generally very friendly animals? They're not.
They're
Like
called the
camels that-
huggable investment when you see the ads, but they are livestock. So you have some that will let you love and hug on them, but most of the time. Oh, there's some green in there.
So what would you say, like size 13 needles or bigger?
It's funny, I had a discussion with a friend of mine this morning on Facebook. She was getting ready to knit something. She was looking for these tiny needles like size 2, and I'm like, what? I said, I just pulled out my size 36. I mean, these suckers are big.
Yeah.
I think maybe 17-ish.
Okay.
You know, if you use the big ones, it's going to go really quick and go.
Yep.
Yeah, I like my 17s, I guess. I like I said, I crochet more than I knit.
I know of my other daughter was knitting something using size 2s, and I said, "Are you nuts? That's
Oh,
like knitting
no,
on
thank-
skewers."
Exactly. No, thank you. I can't wait to see what her name is Linda. I can't wait to see what she makes with them.
Usually those little guys, they're making socks.
Yeah. She said something lacy or something.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. But. Okay, here we go. Now when she starts, and I'll try to get it to where it's not, but usually the first is a little bit loose. I don't really try, I try not to use that like that. But I'll get it nice and tight and then knot it at the end. Now, I am going to have to leave you and run home and get that nitty-knotty.